You'll notice on our blog a term, America's Bedtime Conversations. When our children were very young, my wife Heather did an extraordinary job of making sure that before they went to bed every night, that she sat down with them and read both to them when they were very young and with them when they were much older. The result of her effort has been that both of our children have developed a real and lasting love for reading and for the real benefits that come to us, as you know, when we read, especially things that matter. Although I took part in that nighttime ritual, I have to admit that the bulk of the credit goes to her because of the bulk of the work and the service was performed by her. One of the things that in hindsight I think we would have done differently was that although we read to our children stories that were high quality, that taught good principles, that shared with them some of the ways to be both successful and decent adults, we tended to draw most of what we read from either popular or traditional fiction. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are a lot of great authors out there, both from our past and in our present, that do a wonderful job at teaching children important lessons in engaging and entertaining ways. The purpose of this section of the blog is to encourage you to learn from my mistake. I think that there is in the history of this country some of the best bedtime stories any parent could ever want to read to their children. I think that, as someone said to me just the other day after a speech I had given, that history to them had always been dry and unengaging. It's not because history is, it's because history is too often either A, taught in a dry and unengaging way, or B, more obsessed with facts and battles and experiences than it is with stories and lessons. And so what I'm going to try and do, not as a historian because I'm not as an academic because I'm not, but as someone who loves the history of this country, is to share with you one brief story every week that I find, first of all, engaging, and second of all, valuable in teaching an important principle. The reason we've called this section America's Bedtime Conversations is that we really hope that you, if you find the story valuable, will share it with your children and use it as a springboard to talk about what we can learn and how we can apply the things that these great people in our history have taught us. So please stay tuned. We'll post these at the beginning of every week. We would encourage you, if you have great stories from American history that you think all of us as parents and grandparents could benefit from, to please send those to us through this website, and we'll make sure to share them with everyone else. Because one of the things I have discovered as someone who reads history is that there are many, many great stories that tend to be rarely or never told, and other stories that, although I don't know if it's possible to overtell a great historical story, tend to be one of only a few that are ever really shared. And so let's collectively look to history, look to the great men and women that founded this country, and ask, what stories do they have to tell, and what lessons do we have to learn? So I'm really excited about this part of the blog. I'm really excited about the opportunity as parents to engage each other in sharing some of these wonderful things.